Hey folks, today I'm going to be playing with the Square of Pro. I'm going to try Blitz. The Square of Pro has upgraded to where you can actually enter custom time. So I'm going to be playing on chess.com, and because of the inherent delay, anything without increment puts you at a disadvantage on the Square of Pro. The platform, the chess platform, does not account for that, and so you're simply going to lose time because of the delay in transmission of the moves from the board to the platform. So let's try 5-5 today. The Square of Pro has some improvement opportunities, reduce the delay. That's good news, I would say, for the company. Lots of upgrades to their product down the road. However, there is competition. There is competition with AI and the possibility of using image recognition. All right, we have an opponent.
I ended up playing Rapid 15-10 because I couldn't get a game on Blitz.
I'm going to rotate the board for your benefit. Or for my benefit, I should say. That should be good. All right, I'm going to go with Sicilian defense. I'm not going to try anything new. Okay, and of course, you want to see the board. All right, looks good now. And we're going to go G3 or G6. G6 accelerated dragon. And he plays something different. He plays bishop c4. I'm going to go ahead and play knight f6. He plays d3. So I'm experimenting with a new way of looking at positions. The point is to maximize the activity and range of my pieces with each move. So he's going to play something like bishop e3, threatening my pawn. Might as well just go ahead and play d6 maybe, or rapid development. I think rapid development is more consistent with the accelerated dragon.
Here we have the hyper-accelerated dragon variation of the Sicilian defense.
Actually, no, that was not a good move because of e5. So e5, oh, it's fine. It's fine actually. It's fine. E5 will be met by knight g5. E5 will be met by knight g4. And I guess I can castle now. Let's castle. So king safety. I mean, of course, he can play h4, h5. Which has been seen, but I doubt when he plays d3, I doubt that would be his plan, that would be his style. All right, so he's moved his knight twice, maybe transfer into g3. So I'm gonna go ahead with development, knight c6. Knight c6, consistent with my way of evaluating and making decisions here. He plays a3. So now my goal is to bring out this bishop to an active square that will not be challenged. Okay, g4 will be challenged easily. So I'm gonna play rook b1, rook b8, rook b8 with the plan of playing b5 and then secure my bishop on b7. So rook b8. How are we doing on time? 15 minutes to my 13:25. So I'm not doing great on time. but it's manageable at this. It's manageable at this time. Okay, he plays bishop e3 as I expected, so I'll just play d6. Okay, he's moving a whole lot of pawns. All right, let's just go ahead and play b5. Okay, he hides on a2. It's easy to forget that bishop on a2, but if you have the practice of visualizing the whole board, you shouldn't have that problem. So let's go play a5, and our plan now is just simply play on the queen side. The knight on c6 is not defended by anything. However, I don't think that's a big problem right now. There's no immediate threats. There's no real there's no threat to be taken seriously. Like bishop d5 will be met by knight takes d5. Now, if that knight had not gone to e2, it could possibly jump to d5, creating all sorts of possibilities. But he decides to go to the queen side, to the king side, and I simply continue. Should I play a4 first? I think that's a good move. a4 first, so that when I do play b4, he's not able to. He doesn't have a choice but to deal with the consideration of trading. Let's see how we're doing on time now. So, doing better. He's got 14 to my 13. Making him think, and that's always a good thing. Set problems for your opponent. Don't make their life easy. And that's the principle behind forcing moves. Okay, he does play h4. He finally plays h4. I can now play bishop g4. Bishop b4, establishing a pin. Preventing h5 right away. I mean, h5, knight takes h5, bishop takes h5, knight takes h5, knight takes h5, bishop takes h5, rook takes h5, g takes h. That's possible. But there we go. So in this position, I can take on f3, but double his pawns. But I don't think that's what I want to do. Maybe it is. Take on f3, then knight e5. Not necessary. Let's just go ahead and play b4, just like we wanted to. Let's stay consistent with our plan. So now if he plays bishop h6, I will take on f3, then jump to d4 with my knight. How are we doing on time now? He's got 13 minutes to my 12. The knight on c6 is a concern for me. It does create tactical possibilities for him. So he retreats to h2. Interesting. Very interesting. So I'm just gonna take on a3. My knight is protecting g4. Okay. That's good, right? So now I'm just gonna go to b2 with my rook. followed by queen b8 or queen b6. So my rook, the value of my rook has skyrocketed because now I'm in enemy territory. And I've created the possibility of doubling up. Okay, so knight takes. So knight takes leads to knight takes. Now I'm attacking this bishop, securing this square, and also there's an extra against the rook. So rook takes c2 is possible, with bishop takes a1. Okay, so he just does this. How do we do this? What do we do first? Alright, rook takes a2. Sorry, rook takes c2.
On move 17, rook takes c2 keeps the advantage, but in my opinion takes black from outright winning to just having an edge that gives white a glimmer of hope. Knight takes e3 was more accurate.
Followed by knight takes e3, followed by bishop takes a1. Right, so I attack the queen with knight takes e3. He takes with the f pawn, and now bishop takes a1. And I can even play queen a5 check. Okay, he takes here. Should we do queen a5 check first, or just take the pawn first? This is interesting. This is interesting. It looks dangerous. It looks dangerous, but I don't think it is. I think I'm just seeing ghosts because of this pin. This a2 g8 pin can become dangerous. So let's see. We've got 11 minutes both. Queen a5 is a saving grace. Oof. Okay, that's fine. He takes a pawn. So queen a5 check. Oh no. I have to be careful. If he moves the king, that's fine. Then I take the queen. That's fine. So this is great. Queen a5 check. We trade queens, and my bishop escapes.
On move 21, queen a5 check is inferior to the interesting variation beginning with queen b6. If white castles, which is what I expect a human to do here, black plays the move c4. White cannot play rook takes a1 on account of queen takes e3 check, king h2, knight e5, queen d1 covering the g4 square. Otherwise black would play knight g4 check, then knight f2 check followed by king g7. Now king g7 leaves white in a quandary due to the imminent rook h8 threat. If instead of rook takes a1 white tries d4, black strikes with the juicy sacrifice bishop takes d4. E takes d4, queen takes d4 check, king h1, knight e5, queen d1, queen c5, queen d2, king g7 leads to a similar debacle.
Okay. I take here. And then bishop escapes. After the king moves or castles, what have you. I would expect him to resign in this position. However, hey, he does have the right to play. Okay, king moves up. Very good. So simply bishop g2 or bishop f6, which one is better? All right, knight f1 is played. Knight f1 is played, and which is great because now I can just play rook b8 with no threat. No threat on the f-file. He's blocked his own rook. So this is one of the principles. I mean, don't step over your own pieces, right? So rook b2 is a threat. Rook b2 is a threat. Serious threat here. And what does he do? He plays king f3. King f3 probably should have been played instead of knight f1. So now I'm going to actually attack the bishop by playing rook b2. And the bishop seems... I mean, it doesn't look like there's anywhere he can go except, you know, d5 and then a8 after e6. Does he really want to be stuck on a8? I think not. Yes. Forced to go to a8. This, I mean, a bishop in the corner. You be the judge. What do you think? What do you think about the bishop on a8? How do you like that bishop? I don't see. Oh, he doesn't go to a8. What's happening with my square of pro? Okay, he goes to c4. Somehow the square of pro has stopped lighting up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and capture it. Let's go ahead and capture it. So d takes c, and very simple. We'll just get behind the pawn by playing rook a2. This pawn falls. The knight has nowhere to go without being traded. Yes. And then I'm simply going to take the knight. King takes. And after king takes, I start picking up his pawns. Rook takes a3. e3 is going to be challenged. If you protect e3, I simply play rook c3 and then rook. There's nothing that can protect it. He goes there. That's fine. I'll simply take this pawn here. He can grab the one on d6. And I will simply go all the way to c1 and push the pass pawn. King goes to g7 to get in the game. If he plays e5, I'll go h6 route. Okay, I think I'm just gonna push. Or should I go, yeah, let's push. Tangible threat. Tangible threat. If he attempts to bring his king into the game, I'll simply play rook c2 check. I don't even have to play rook c2 check. Okay, he's trying to limit my king. I just continue with my tangible threat. Yeah, rook e2 should be met by rook c2 check. Otherwise, if c2, then king d2, and I cannot really play rook. Yes, I can actually play rook g1, and if the king takes, I still take the pawn, and if the rook takes, I can still take the pawn. So g3. G3 is a good move. So now I can play C2. C2 is a great move. Because now King E2 will be met by Rook H1. Is it Rook H1 or Rook G1? I think Rook G1 is better, right? If captures, then I take the pawn and then play check. Okay. Rook g1 threatening to queen. Rook takes c2, rook g2 check. First, forcing the king closer to his rook. Then I can take on g3. Okay, Square of Pro is not lighting up. No, I haven't seen this before, but it's fine. So rook g2 check, forcing the king closer to his rook. Then I take the pawn on g3. How are we doing on time?
Move 39. Rook takes g3 fails to assess the winning endgame after rook takes c2, king takes c2, king h7, king d2, king h6, king e2, king g5, king f3, king f5 e4 check, king takes e5, and white would soon have to give up the opposition after black plays f6.
8 to 11. Pretty decent. So now I can play rook g4 check. Rook g4 check. And then I'll transfer over to the other side. King g7 is coming. I have a pass pawn on the g file, so white is always going to be worried about that. So shall I come? Yes, let's just stay in the fortress, and we can start pushing the g pawn perhaps, or if we can trade rooks, that'll be even better. So we go to a1, check the king from behind. If rook f2, rook g1, threatening to play g5. Interesting. He plays king g5. Not sure the purpose of that, however. We can check him, or even play rook h1. Rook h1 with a check on h5. Yeah, let's go here. Rook h1. Check's coming on h5. King can go to h6, and then we can push g5. Interesting. Okay, let's go here. Rook h5. Okay, now I'm going to play rook h4. Check. He has to stay on the f file. Now I can push the pawn. He's offering me a draw. Should I take it, folks? No. Reject. We play g5. How much time does he have? 7 minutes to my 11. Which pawn would you take first? If he doesn't guard any of these pawns, e5. I would take e5 because I would be shielded by... Okay. He plays rook g1. I'm just going to play g4. If he plays check, I'm simply going to capture the pawn on e5. His pawn on e4 would be a shield for my king. If he doesn't play check, I'm going to play g3. And he resigns.
The game was quite competitive. Both players missed some chances in the opening, but navigated the middle game well. Black seized the initiative early and squeezed the advantage through the endgame.
Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button.